right now on WISN 12 News.
We're following two major developments in the firing of a Milwaukee police officer. First,
firing of Officer Manny was, in my opinion, ill-conceived, unwarranted, and politically motivated.
Tonight, the police union has his back.
Then, for the first time, the officer, in his own words, on what happened that day he killed a man in Red Arrow Park. We begin tonight with a very public, very emotional show of support for the Milwaukee police officer fired for killing a man in Red Arrow Park.
Dontre Hamilton died in April after police say Hamilton attacked the officer with the officer's baton. 12 News' Mike Anderson joins us tonight. Mike, the union is defending the fired officer.
Toya and Joyce, they are indeed. They're vigorously defending him a day after he was fired by their boss, Chief Ed Flynn.
Milwaukee police officers came out strong at City Hall Thursday in support of Chris Manny, fired yesterday by Chief Ed Flynn. Manny shot and killed Dontre Hamilton in Red Arrow Park last April, and while Flynn did not take issue with his use of force, he did conclude that Manny did not follow department training or policy during the confrontation, including an improper pat-down. Their union chief, Michael Crivello, says since the shooting, Manny is a broken man.
And without the support of his brothers and sisters, I don't know where he would be. Every day is different. I talked to him last night. He said sometimes I'm 3 steps forward and 5 steps backwards, and I'm not gaining ground.
The union is asking Milwaukee to remember the officer in their prayers. I asked if he had been working behind the scenes since the shooting.
That goes back to the total situation, and obviously he hasn't been there as of late, and he won't be back unless the chief changes his mind, or when we win the appeal.
Crivello would not say definitively if that meant the officer is going to appeal his firing, but it's clear his fellow officers want him to, and so does Milwaukee Alderman Bob Donovan.
The firing of Officer Manny was, in my opinion, ill-conceived, unwarranted, and politically motivated.
The union also provided Manny's response to the chief's charges that he violated policy. He rejects that he conducted an improper pat-down and said he would have been acting irresponsibly if he did not. He says he feared for his life and he felt Hamilton was so big and muscular that he would have overpowered him and any other officer. Toya and Joyce.
All right, thank you, Mike. 12 News' Craig McKee continues our team coverage investigating what more we've learned about Manny.
Craig, the officer filed for duty disability on Monday.
That's right. Tonight, in Manny's own words, we're getting our first glimpse into really what he's been going through both emotionally and mentally through his application for disability filed just 3 days ago.
The two-page document filed with the City of Milwaukee includes handwritten statements from Christopher Manny. He explains that he was sent to an assignment and was violently attacked with fists and a weapon to my head. He says he was forced to use deadly force, and he claims his injury from the incident debilitating mental health issues due to the incident in Ferguson, Missouri, and what he calls negative media lies. He says he has issues with coping skills, depression, and anxiety. His statement to the Annuity and Pension Board, he claims that he can't be inside any police buildings and can't have any contact with the public as a police officer. In addition, he claims he can't be around police badges, ID cards, guns, or police radios. We asked Michael Crivello with the police union about the disability filing.
His duty disability retirement would go through. He would be on duty disability, and his appeal would still be warranted because, as anyone knows, anybody that's on duty disability is continually reevaluated with the opportunity that you have an opportunity to come back to work.
He goes on to say, though, that he would not come back to work. Approval of disability isn't instant. 2 doctors must agree that Manny is incapacitated and that incapacitation is duty-related. If approved, he would receive 75% of his base pay, which would be just over $50,000 a year, all supported with taxpayer dollars.